A drunken police officer freed the suspects to celebrate New Year. A prisoner in Arizona is asking to be executed sooner than the state wants. And a teenager in Texas is accused of poisoning his rival's competition show goat. These are the weird stories on Weird AF News, the only daily weird news podcast in existence. I got some weird news for you. Hey, let's go. I'm ready. I think I'm ready. A drunken police officer freed the suspects from the prison on New Year's. 13 total suspected criminals are on the loose in Zambia. This is all because a tipsy detective unlocked the jail cells on New Year's Eve and told the inmates that they were free to go. You're free! Fly away! You're free! Oh man, imagine waking up from your hangover the next day and realizing that you did this. Can you imagine? I did what? I let all the prisoners out of the prison? I did that? There's like tipsy, and then there's who let the dogs out tipsy, which this guy's on the who let the dogs out tipsy tip. Tipsy tip. Let me keep reading this because it's kind of funny. The detective, in a state of intoxication, forcibly seized the cell keys from Constable Banda and unlocked both the male and female cells and instructed the suspects all to leave the premises, stating that they were free to cross over into the new year. Okay, you're fine. You can go home now, guys, but promise not to commit more felonies, okay? Okay, you know what your New Year's resolution is, okay? You're not going to commit any more crimes. Now, I don't want to see you around here. Now, shush, skedaddle. There's still some time for you to get your champagne toast on. Well, what's just a lovely, nice thing to do. I think this is exactly what Jesus would have done if Jesus worked at a jail. And, of course, Jesus would have been fired from the jail immediately for doing such things. All right, let's get some more of the details that are offered here in the article about this liberation via intoxication. It says, all but 2 of the 15 suspects in the jail at that time escaped when the cells were opened. 2 of them did not. I wonder what was going through the heads of those 2. They're like, something's fishy here. This can't be right. This can't be right. I've heard about jail, and it doesn't work this way. Or maybe they were passed out drunk because it's New Year's. They're probably in the drunk tank, if they have a drunk tank. I'm going to guess there's no drunk tank. This sounds to me like it's one of those very primitive prisons that you see like in old Western movies. I was watching an old Western movie. I forget who was in it, but at one point the sheriff unlocked the prison door and invited the suspect that he just arrested for doing really bad things, by the way, really bad things. He invited him out to fist fight him. He goes, if you can get these keys off me, then you can get out there. And then he proceeded to just beat the crap out of the prisoner. It's like Wild Wild West themes. That's what this story reminds me of in a way. Okay, we got a spokesperson for the Zambia Police Department with an amazing name, Ray Hamunga. Ah, what a cool name, Ray Hamunga. Let's hear what Ray Hamunga has to say. Ray with the cool name. The suspects remain fugitives. Many of the suspects face charges for serious crimes, including assault, theft, and burglary. Allowing these suspects to remain at large poses a significant risk to public safety. Yeah, it absolutely does, Ray Hamunga, with the cool name. This just begs the question, where are the other police employees from this station? I mean, there's more than one, obviously, because it says in the story that this detective got the keys from the constable, so there's a constable, but there's got to be other employees. You know, this is like a mid-sized jail. It can fit 15 suspects, so obviously it's a good size. It's a one-person operation on New Year's? This is bizarre. You're probably wondering what happened to the detective. Well, he fled the scene, but was arrested soon afterwards. Here's another statement from Ray Hamunga. I just love Ray Hamunga. Ray, are you out there listening to this? Please call me. The Zambia Police Service has intensified efforts to locate and apprehend all the escapees. We urge members of the public with any information that may assist in locating these suspects to report to the nearest police station. As of Monday, police had not provided any update on the escaped inmates. It sounds like they're still out there running around. We have a comment from a former presidential spokesperson named Dixon who says, I keep laughing each time I picture the scenario. How comical. But then I remembered a similar incident happened in 1997. And then the article says, yes, on New Year's Eve in 1997, the late controversial High Court Judge Kabazo Chanda ordered the release of 53 suspects, some of whom were deemed dangerous by the police. Mr. Chanda was annoyed that the suspects had been arrested as long ago as 1992, but had not yet appeared in court. He said, quote, justice delayed is justice denied, and then released them all, 53 suspects, on New Year's Eve. Bizarre, man. It's becoming a New Year's Eve ritual in Zambia. Well, not, every 20 years. More like 30 years, 30 plus years. I can't add right now. I'm on medicine. Listen to weird news tonight. There's a billion weird news stories in the sky, and it's weird news tonight. It'll make everything all right. A prisoner is asking to be executed sooner than the state wants. The story's out of Arizona, United States. A death row prisoner asked Arizona's highest court to skip all of the legal formalities and schedule his execution earlier than authorities were aiming for, pushing as he had in the past to have his death sentence carried out. This guy's like, hey, move it along, all right? I got somewhere to be. Have they interviewed him about the afterlife? I got a feeling this guy knows something that we don't. He's in a big hurry to get there. He probably knows that there's no hell because, he's on death row for, we'll find out, but it's probably some heinous crime that would ordinarily get you time in hell. But if he's in a hurry to get to the afterlife, maybe he knows there is no hell. Maybe there's just a heaven for all of us waiting there. I don't know. I hope so, because I don't want to, I don't want to be in a hell. I know what my hell would be. This is what my hell would be. My hell would be forced for eternity to do ice fishing while listening to country music. No gloves. No gloves. Ice fishing, no gloves, listening to country music on repeat. That's my living hell. I mean, we all have one. Right? What's your version of hell? Call the show. 646-450-2012. Keep it clean, because the kids, okay? Okay, back to the story about our death row prisoner. Oh, he's winking in his photo. He's winking in his mugshot. Oh, man, he really does appear to know something that we don't, I think. Oh, no. We got to ask this guy questions about the afterlife. Get on it, man. Get a priest in there. Let's get to the bottom of it. Well, scientists are okay, too. All right, this prisoner's name is Aaron Brian Gunches, and his execution would mark a resumption of Arizona's use of the death penalty after a 2-year pause while it reviewed its procedures. All right. Well, if I lived in Arizona, I'd want to die, too. Just shoot me in the face, please. In a handwritten court filing this week, Aaron asked the state Supreme Court to schedule his execution for mid-February for his murder conviction in the 2002 killing of Ted Price. Aaron, who is not a lawyer but is representing himself, said his death sentence is, quote, long overdue, and that the state was dragging its feet and asking the court for a legal briefing schedule leading up to the execution. Well, I mean, you can't be surprised, 2-year wait for execution or whatever it is. I mean, these things take a long, long time in the States. There's so much paperwork to jump through and hoops to jump through and paperwork to file. Did I say paperwork to jump through? Yeah, I'm on meds right now. Sorry. There's lawyers. It's just hard to push through the execution. They do happen, but they take a long, long time. And, I can understand why he would want it, because who wants to just sit around waiting for it, which is what they make you do. In Japan, they keep your execution date secret until, the day before, sometimes hours before. Can you imagine that? I mean, the uncertainty there is part of the punishment, because the unknown is scarier than the known anyways. That's just torturous. Can you imagine? They do that partly for an added punishment, but also because to cut down on suicides in the jail. Because if people know their date is far, far away, they could just, they'll just do themselves in the jail cell any way they can. And I think that needs to be addressed in this particular story, because part of this guy's sentencing is having to suffer. This is part of his penance. penance. That's too religious of a phrase, I think, but you get what I'm saying. Like, you do the crime, you do the time. So, and of course, the state is, this is a system where they want to decide your fate. You don't decide your fate for you. That's going on as well. There's a power thing. It says the Attorney General is seeking Aaron's execution, said a briefing schedule is needed to ensure corrections officials can meet execution requirements, such as testing for the pentobarbital that will be used for his lethal injection. Yeah, I mean, the state has to do all of these things before they can have the executions reinstated, because they don't want to be the targets of really bad PR surrounding executions. I mean, they're already part of it because, many people fall on the other side of the fence of this. They're anti-death penalty. So if you're going to be death penalty, everybody's looking for a reason to take that away from you, right? Not everybody, but those who are on the other side. And if you're not doing it in a very safe, what they would say, safe and humane way, they'll seek to take that away from you. So the state has to really, have all their ducks in order before they can proceed. So it just takes, this is what happens. It takes a while. It says Governor Hobbs of Arizona promised not to carry out any executions until there was confidence that the state can do so without violating any laws as well. Arizona has 111 prisoners on death row, and the last time they carried out executions was in 2022, following a nearly 8-year hiatus brought on by criticism that a 2014 execution was botched and because of difficulties obtaining drugs for execution as well. Yeah, these are kind of the things that prevent you from, carrying these out. If you botch an execution, that's really bad. The guy here on death row, Aaron Gunches, pleaded guilty to a murder charge in the shooting death of Price, his girlfriend's ex-husband, in Mesa, Arizona. Now, I assume they'll get this together eventually, and this guy will get his wish, but, you don't fold to the demands of a prisoner on death row. I'm so sorry. You don't, you've lost a lot of your freedoms at this point, sir. And, having to wait around, it's not a good thing, but, also, maybe you don't kill somebody's ex-husband. That's just very, that's not okay either. It's too bad this guy's not locked up in Zambia because, there's a chance on New Year's that they're just going to open the door for you. A teenager is accused of using poison to kill a rival's competition show goat. We have a Texas teenager here who has been recently charged with animal cruelty after she was accused of using pesticide to poison and kill a rival's competition show goat. Well, I mean, if you want to be the goat, you got to beat the goat. After all, that's a bad pun. I don't even know if that's a pun. I don't know what that is, but I think I've gone too far. Let's talk about show goats and learn. Let's read about show goats and learn. I'm going to read, and you're going to listen about show goats. We're going to learn about show goats and about a very demented young teenager who will do anything to win. The authorities say that Aubrey Van Landingham, that's the last name. It sounds like a very wealthy family. This is not appropriate Van Landingham behavior. Poisoning of the show goats. Aubrey Van Landingham. I mean, just imagine this girl. This is her whole life, show goats. She used a drench gun. I don't know what a drench gun is, but Aubrey Van Landingham used a drench gun to force feed toxic pesticides to a particular goat named Willie. Oh, poor Willie. This took place at a barn at the Vista Ridge High School in Cedar Park, Texas. According to the arrest affidavit, Aubrey Van Landingham reportedly confessed to deliberately poisoning the animal, an act that was captured on CCTV footage as well. The goat died about 21 hours later after convulsing and showing signs of respiratory distress. A necropsy confirmed that the cause of death was organophosphate intoxication from phosmet, or phosmeat, which is a pesticide commonly used for external parasite control in livestock. Now, Aubrey Van Landingham confessed to police that she deliberately poisoned the goat because she believed the animal's owner was, quote, a cheater. She reportedly said it was her second attempt to kill the goat. Wow, this is her second attempt. This girl is bad in so many ways, Her reasoning, too. I mean, just stop talking, Aubrey. The animal's owner's a cheater, so you kill it. You kill the animal. In what way is the animal's owner a cheater, too? It doesn't say. Were you in a relationship with the animal's owner? Cheated on you? Or was this cheating in somehow the goat show world of competition? I don't know. It seems like it's an intense thing. But I mean, she could have just said this goat is the devil in disguise, and then she could have had a future political career in the U.S. They would have appointed her Secretary of Agriculture in a couple of years. Okay, now it says investigators who searched Aubrey's phone history found that she had searched, quote, how much bleach can kill an animal? And also she searched poisoning pets, what you should know. She also searched, quote, how do I clear my search history? Well, she obviously didn't find the answer to the last one. It's all there for investigators to pore over as they mount their case against her. Aubrey Van Landingham faces up to 2 years in prison if convicted of cruelty to livestock animals. The mother of the 15-year-old girl whose goat Willie was killed by Aubrey Van Landingham's poison said the family wanted justice and hoped that Van Landingham would receive jail time if found guilty. Here's a quote from the mother. We were there when Willie passed away. My daughter was actually holding him, so that was very traumatic. We don't believe there is any remorse there either. We want justice served. We don't want a slap on the wrist. We want to make sure that she is punished. Well, I guess we'll see what happens, though. But my guess is the Van Landinghams have a very, very powerful attorney. Just because of the name. You got to. But yeah, she should get some serious penalty. Poisoning is another level of psychotic deviancy. I mean, when you've decided to poison, you've decided to kill slower, to inflict pain for longer durations. And in some cases, you want to watch it go down as a spectator. There needs to be like special punishment for poison people. Some kind of, they should have to register. There's a sex offender registry. There should be a poison person registry of some sort. Because you are otherworldly sick if you do that to somebody. And I guess I'll just wrap up this story regarding goat poisonings to tell you what you may have already known, which is that the state of Texas is basically medieval Europe. Hi, my friends and my loyal listeners of the Weird AF News podcast. It's your buddy Jonesy. Thank you for spending a little time with me. I appreciate that. I hope you had a nice weekend. I got a little cold over the weekend, and it's still hitting me. It seems to be getting worse, so I still got somewhat of a voice, but it's not the same. It may be down as hardly anything tomorrow, just a heads up. If my voice is completely gone, obviously I can't do an episode, but I'm going to do the best I can to keep my voice at least. So I'm on the meds. We're doing it. Getting a lot of sleep, fluids, the whole nine. Anyways, let's give thanks and praise. All right. First of all, we have Steven in Portland who bought me a coffee off my website, weirdafnews.com. Isn't that sweet of Steven to buy me a coffee off my website, weirdafnews.com? That's so nice. Stephen wrote, don't let the bad reviews get to you, Jonesy. For those of us who don't have an emotional support monkey, we rely on you to crank out a steady stream of weird AF news for our enjoyment. Your stories always lighten my mood, and for that, I am grateful. Please keep singing, making puns, and ranting about the stupidity of the human race, Jonesy. I was listening to your best of compilations and laughing at all the insane stories that you happened to cover last year. I felt compelled to show my appreciation for the passionate effort you put into your podcast. So enjoy a coffee and good luck with your 2025, man. Isn't that a really sweet message from Stephen in Portland? That's just so sweet. Stephen, I want to thank you so much. It just really made me smile. Great message. And I appreciate that you love this show so much, And I'm going to be in Portland at some point, Stephen, so we need to grab a beer or whatever. You got to come to a comedy show is what's happening. One of my relatives just moved up there. She had a baby, so I got a place to stay up there. So I'm going to make Portland one of my destinations, one of my places to do shows. Okay, moving on to a new patron. We have Kitty Poop. Kitty Poop joined the Patreon. Isn't that a great name, Kitty Poop? I think this is a burlesque dancer, but I'm not sure. Kitty Poop joined the Patreon, which is really one of the ultimate ways you could show support for the Weird AF News enterprise over here. which is, when I say enterprise, I mean a one man in a closet. But yeah, because, the Patreon is like buying Jonesy a coffee every month, which is cool, right? So if you want to be like Kitty Poop and be really cool and generous, go to weirdafnews.com or patreon.com/weirdafnews. Get in on it. Oh, while I'm talking about the Patreon, I should just make a note, because over the weekend something special happened in that I won the first ever Patreon Fantasy Football League, as I claimed that I would. I put it out there this year. I thought, I have a bunch of Patreon patrons, and if anyone likes fantasy football, let's start a league. And if you beat me, I'll send you a really weird, cool gift. Nobody beat me. No, I mean, I lost games during the regular season, but I mean, I won the championship, which is the goal. So, I mean, I'm a very good fantasy football player, so it's going to be hard to beat me. I'm going to do it next year, though, so if you guys want to get the jump on that and be part of it, you have to join the Patreon. That's how you do it. A lot of fun, though, so shout out to everybody, including Chris Sigsby, who made it to the finals with me. And we had a nice battle. It came down to, I think I won by barely 20 points or something like that. So anyways, that was a lot of fun, and I think it's something that we'll do next season as well. Another reason to join the Patreon, you get to play games with us and try and beat me at something I'm amazing at. I don't think you're gonna, but you can try. You can try. Calling all great fantasy football players, join the Patreon, specifically to join the Patreon Fantasy Football League for the next season. Anyways, I'm excited about that it's now NFL postseason. This is what I live for, man. This weekend, I'm going to be, hopefully I'll be feeling better, because I'd like to go out and watch these games with some friends at bars and whatnot. And as it stands now, I'm not feeling up for that. But hopefully this week, I'm very excited about NFL. Anyways, I'm rambling, and just want you to know that you can always reach me, funnyjones@gmail.com, or you can call 646-450-2012. Follow me on Instagram at funnyjones, and I will see you tomorrow, my friends, as I get some rest. Good night.